Are you still going this?
Yeah, but still, the video is not already.
So, are you there, everybody? This is very, very new and weird for me. Now I see that there's a comment, and then maybe I can see people commenting. Yes, there. And you are somewhere there, behind this screen. It's very nice to meet you all. My name is Vilma, and I'm from Finland, and today we will travel to ancient historical Finland, or also actually part of Russia a little bit. I still want to check if, because now there's not, maybe somebody can comment a little bit, so I will see like if the comment is working. And if also, if you can or cannot hear me, or you feel that something is coming too loud or something, then we can also check it. No messages yet? Okay, if nobody has anything to say yet, then I will start the story. So we will go to Karelia, to the ancient region, which is the boat size. Oh, hey dear Vilma Talvitie. Yes. Hello Durgesh. So we will go to Karelia, which is the both sides of eastern Finland and northwest Russia. Both sides, and it's called Karelia. And we travel in time to the first millennium of our era. And Karelians there, yes, everything works fine. So Karelians, they developed this oral poetry called runolaulu, or we call it nowadays runolaulu. In English it's something like poem singing or rune singing. And it's a way to tell stories, or way to transmit like legends and myths and the song that I'm now going to share with you is a wedding song. And during the old times, before Christianity came to Finland, the weddings were they lasted for many days, and they were the biggest parties in Finland. And they had ceremonies in both the groom's family and the bride's family. And the groom's family, the parties, the wedding ceremonies, they were happy and welcoming and joyous. And it was because the bride had to leave her home and move to the groom's home, which was often very far because it was a quite remote place and very small population. So often bride had to leave really far from home. So that's why it was happy in the groom's place, but it was maybe less happy, or there was more melancholy in the ceremony in the bride's home. And this song was sang there, and it was the family and the friends who sang it to the bride in order to try to make the bride cry. Because if you don't cry now, then it's possible that you will cry the rest of your life. So it's better to cry now. And now I will sing it to you. Niinkö luulet, neito, rukka, työt loppui, huoli väheni. Työt loppui, huoli väheni. Niinkö luulet, neito, rukka, vasta huolta valitahan. Vasta huolta valitahan. Ja ajatusta annetahan. Ajatusta annetahan. Liinat liikoja sanoja, liinat liikoja sanoja. Kyllähän tuhulta tuopi, kyllähän tuhulta tuopi. Liinat liikoja sanoja, liinat liikoja sanoja. Pattinan pahoa mieltä, pattinan pahoa mieltä. Kuulen neito, kun vielä kuulan, kuulen neito, kun vielä. So this is runolaulu, poem song, and it was meant originally for singing, so it didn't exist with written, because we are also talking about very old times. We go like 2000 years behind, and so it was meant for singing, and every age of people used to sing this way. It was part of kind of every areas in the life. For example, at work, when people were on the fields, you can sing it. Mothers sang lullabies for babies to sleep. In different events like weddings, funerals. It was like everywhere, and it was also a way to kind of special language that was like a way to talk about important stuff, like important things that the society or the community saw important. And it was sung as solo, like I did now, and now I did it with piano, but these times they didn't use piano, but sometimes maybe this traditional instrument called kantele, Finnish traditional, or it's also in Estonia and Russia, they use this instrument. It's like typical kantele is like 5-string plucked instrument, something sounding like a little harp, yes. And so often this was sung by solo, but also with groups. So you can have, like, for example, 2 persons alternating, or then main singer and then the group alternating and singing together. And when you sing it together, this kind of song, it's like I'm singing the first part and the choir is answering, and it's kind of like a floating story which never ends. Like some poems can last for hours. Like there's some singers who remember like thousands of verses, and then they sing it and everybody's coming together. So it's also a social way to be together. Hello, Liam. Welcome. And now I think we could start learning the melody. But before that, I would like to introduce, I have some people here with me, because I was thinking that, because since this is like both individual art, like poem singing, but also really nice to sing together as a choir, and since I can't hear you and you can't hear each other, so it's maybe nice that we have some choir here to sing with us. So I will introduce Julia Garpone from Argentina and Sami Karkar from France and Tunisia.
Hey.
So, just please sit down. And
Maybe we can take this in behind.
yes. So about the story, like I said earlier, it's the way to make the bride to cry. So you can see it in the text. Maybe Durges, could you please provide the text? And yeah, it can take some time. So the text is saying, I can already try to a little bit start to translate it. Kuule neito, kun mie laulan. Listen, girl, when I'm singing. They are waiting already on the doors. The men are waiting to take you away. So, girl, cry when you get married. Because if you don't cry now, it's possible that you will cry the rest of your life. Are you thinking, girl, that your work is done or your worries are lessened? Now, when you get married, now all the trouble starts. Like the veil, the wedding veil that the bride has, it's bringing you worry, and the wedding clothes, they bring you trouble. And this might sound depressing. I don't know. How do you feel? How do you feel? Does it sound depressing? I think you can see like that. But also, I think that this is very describing well something that I'd hope that we could actually be accepting also the sadness and the hard parts, also part of your life. And this is kind of the ideology that I think, or I read from the between the lines, that it's good to kind of accept the feeling that you are moving out from your home and maybe you don't know how you like your new life, and you can feel really insecure and unsafe, and then it's good to let it out and also share it with others, because if you let the sadness stay inside your heart, then it can break it. So maybe that's something like the thinking that's behind in these lyrics. So, and I'm not sure if this is something very typical Finnish, but I often with friends from some southern countries, I talk about this, and it feels that it brings something like really interesting conversations about this, like sadness, and why also we have so many melodies in Finland and in Nordic countries, like a minor and like kind of sad sounding songs. Anyway, this is a happy or sad, whatever you think, however you think, and now we will learn it. Is there, Durgesh? Is there, now I see, I didn't see these comments. So, hello, everything works fine. Hey, Arthur. Hey, Liam, hey. And yes, lyrics are there, so good?
Lyrics, yes.
Good. We have the lyrics.
Oh, we have the Mexican in the place.
Yes, hello, Isaac. So, now we will learn, actually I think we could do immediately the melody and the lyrics, because this is quite simple. There's just two phrases that will repeat all the time, and they are these. Kuule neito, kun mie laulan. So I will sing first, and then you will repeat, and you will repeat also. Okay. Kuule neito,
Kuule neito,
kuule neito,
kuule neito,
kuule neito. And the second phrase is Kuule neito, kun mie laulan. 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 Okay, and we always repeat the one line 2 times. Then we go to the next line. Jo on ottajat. Jo on ottajat. Jo on ottajat. Jo on ottajat. Jo on ottajat ovilla. Jo on ottajat ovilla. Jo on ottajat ovilla. Jo on ottajat ovilla. And the second line is Jo on ottajat ovilla. 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 Jo on ottajat ovilla.
Jo on ottajat ovilla.
Yes, and then, so this means, listen, my girl, when I'm singing to you, the takers are already on the doors. And the last line, the third line of the first verse is veräjillä, viejät, miehet. And since it's a bit tricky with the new, like these letters that don't exist in many languages, let's just try first with this ä. So it's a with dots. It's in Finnish, it's ä. So you can try it with ä. You can try it with the witch laughing, like And later there is also another thing with these dots. It's o with dots, and it's So ä and ö. And here this line is veräjillä. Veräjillä. Veräjillä.
Veräjillä.
Viejät.
Viejät.
Viejät, miehet.
Viejät, miehet.
Veräjillä viejät.
Veräjillä.
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 Veräjillä viejät.
Veräjillä viejät.
Veräjillä viejät.
Veräjillä viejät.
Veräjillä viejät.
Veräjillä viejät.
Veräjillä viejät miehet.
Veräjillä viejät miehet.
Veräjillä viejät miehet. Veräjillä viejät miehet. Veräjillä viejät miehet. Veräjillä viejät miehet. So it's viejät miehet. Viejät miehet. Veräjillä viejät miehet. Veräjillä viejät miehet. Good. And with one more time with the melody, the last line. Veräjillä viejät miehet. Veräjillä viejät miehet. And the next one, that next line. Veräjillä viejät miehet. Veräjillä viejät miehet. Okay, so this is the first verse, kind of, we can call it verse, though I would say that often here it's not, we are not thinking in the verses, but more like, because the poem is continuing and continuing and continuing. But now let's say that these first lines are the first verse. Is there now any questions already from there? I will just see if I would see all the comments. Liam is saying maybe it was a midwinter wedding. Yeah, it can be midwinter wedding because then there's no light and then you can maybe see life a little bit different way.
And then you're depressed.
Yes. So now we are waiting a few seconds. If anybody have any questions from the first verse about the text, about the meaning, about anything. Yes, Isaac, that's true. It's basically the same melody, all verses. And that's a good question actually, because even if you are now learning this melody, it doesn't mean that you have to stick with this melody. So then later we can also start to vary the melody, but we are using these tones that we are using now, like maybe we can sing the scale once, so we have it in the ears. And together. So the melody is basically going with these tones, and then we can vary the melody. But can you pronounce the difference between a, and okay, and hear them next to each other, please. Okay, so we have a normal a, which is in Finnish is also quite low, so you can try it. In English, for example, it's a bit in a different place, but in Finnish, a is quite low, or quite in the, like, low, in a way, the feeling is in the low, so we can try a, and then a, and then e, yes, a, e, yes, good. I hope this was now clear. Okay, so then if there's no question of the text or the melody, then we will do the same way, but the next verse. So the second verse is Itken neito.
Itken neito.
Itken neito naitaessa.
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 Yes. And the second one is where we have this and so the difference between o is also quite low. O. and then ö, o, ö, työt, työt loppui.
Työt loppui.
Oh, sorry.
The Y is also.
Oh, no. Sorry. I went to the third verse already. So anyway, now you know what is and what is työt. But now we will go to the second verse. Did you already actually, the is the whole text there? The second verse, itke, neito, naitaessa, and the second verse is vierittele, vietäessä. Vierittele, vietäessä. Now it's very long words and maybe, I don't know, there's double consonants and a lot of new things. So let's do it once more with only one word at a time. So vierittele.
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 The next one, vietäessä.
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 Vierittele, 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 vietäessä.
And next one. Kuulet itke. Kuulet itke. Kuulet itke.
Kuulet itke.
Kuulet itken naitaessa. Kuulet itken naitaessa. Kuulet itken naitaessa. Kuulet itken naitaessa. Kuulet itken naitaessa.
Kuulet itken naitaessa.
Kuulet itken naitaessa.
Kuulet itken naitaessa.
Good. Itket, sorry, the last one is different. Itket, ikäsi. Itket, ikäsi. Itket, ikäsi. Itket, ikäsi. Itket, ikäsi kaiken. Itket, ikäsi kaiken. Itket, ikäsi kaiken. Itket, ikäsi kaiken. Itket, ikäsi kaiken.
Itket, ikäsi kaiken.
Great. So this is everything that I'm teaching now, and later, if we have time and we want, we can also learn the second two lines. But this, I would say, that are kind of already showing the thinking of the song, because in the second verse they say this. So cry, girl, when you get married, because if you don't cry now, then you will cry the rest of your life. So let's cry, everybody, now. Okay. So now I would like to do add one more thing, like do the same thing with the first verse and the second verse, but add one specific thing that's typical in runo laulu, in poem singing. Especially in Finland, I think, I'm not sure about the tradition in Estonia, for example. In Russia, they have kind of same traditions, but I'm not sure if they have this one. Maybe they have it also. So if we will sing it in a group or alternating with the group, then I will sing, if I'm the main singer, the leader or the leader, I will sing the first line. Kuule neito, kun mie laulan. And then the choir answers with the second line. Kuule neito, kun mie laulan. Yes, but this is not all, this is not everything. So the choir actually start already a little bit earlier than their line starts. So they will join me at the very end of my line. So I will show you and then you will see. So, kuule neito, kun mie laulan.
Kuule neito, kun mie
Laulan, kuule neito, kun mie laulan.
Kuule neito, kun mie
Laulan. So this is the kind of the essence of this way of singing, that it's kind of always floating. There's no stops between. It's always like, it's like a river which never, it's just flowing. It never stops. So we can try the whole first and second verse like this. So I will always sing the first one, and then you there and you here, you are the choir, and you will answer with the second line. So now you don't sing the first line actually at all, but we
You
can.
mean the first melody?
The first melody, yes, the first phrase, like first melody. You will sing the second melody, which is da 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 dee 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 dee. Okay, let's try. And you show the example of starting in the end, and then we will, you will just join there. Okay. Oh, we have a bit high. This is D. So this is D minor that we are playing. Kuule neito, kun mie laulan.
Kuule neito, kun mie
Laulan, jo on ottajat ovilla.
Jo on ottajat ovilla.
Veräjillä viejät, miehet.
Veräjillä viejät, miehet.
Itke neito naitaessa.
Itke neito naitaessa.
Vierittele, vietäessä.
Veerittele, vietäessä.
Kun et itke naitaessa. Kun et itke naitaessa. Itket ikäsi kaiken. Yes. So this is the way. So how does it sound? Well, at least Isaac said already. Oh, sounds cool. Yeah, I really like it. Sounded great, really good. So just the last line. Itket ikäsi kaiken. Itket ikäsi kaiken. Itket ikäsi kaiken. Itket ikäsi kaiken. Yes. Okay. What time is it? How much do we have time? Wow, time is going very fast.
25 minutes.
25 minutes. Okay. I think we could stay with these two verses, and if you really want to learn the rest, there's also few nice versions in YouTube, and you can learn it from them, or then you can be in touch with me and we can learn it together. Have a session that we learn the second verses, the other verses, but now we will stick with this one. And I will try to do one more or add something, because like maybe you noticed already, I didn't stick with the melody that I taught you first. And that's because also it feels that you want to go a little bit do it your own way, and that's also how it can be. So you can make the melody your own. You don't have to stick with this theme that now you learned. It's kind of like the basic theme, and then you can make it your own way. So for example, I will just show different ways that you could use, but it doesn't have to be. It's just like to show example. So for example, if the basic melody is Kuule, neito, kun mie laulan, kuule, neito, kun mie laulan. Then I could do, for example, my way. I would do it Kuule, neito, kun mie laulan, kuule, neito, kun mie laulan, kuule, neito, kun mie laulan, kuule, neito, kun mie laulan. So this was just a few examples how you could do it. And the thing is that when we sing in choir, you don't have to try to sing together the same way, because we are improvising. So even if we are improvising in group, you can use these 5 tones, or actually 6 tones, and then you can do it your own way. And then it will go, sometimes we go tones together, sometimes they are going separating, and it's like this all the time, like a river. Okay, is there some? You can maybe put the links in the comments or something. Yes, I can put the links now or later, yes.
Okay.
As long as it stays on the key and the rhythm is fair game. You mean about the improvising? Mm-hmm. Yes, so actually now we are in this song, I don't know if you noticed it, but we are counting in 5. So this goes in 5, and that's true that we are like, even with if we do melodic variations, or if we even do like rhythmic variations, we kind of keep in these 5. But actually, if you sing alone, to be honest, you can also break that, so you don't have to even do the counting 5. Okay, so let's try, so that now everybody can start variating the melody. And and let's do the same way as now we did. So I will do the first part. Of course, if you want, you can join me. It's actually fine. Everything is fine, I would say, like in this style. So you can either join the choir, or you can already start sing with me, or you can try both. Now when we are here, like, I don't know what you're doing there, but I hope you're having a good time. So just sing the part that you feel comfortable, and then you can try how it feels to actually take a little separate, like, melodies. Okay. So the same way, the first 2 verses we will do. Sometimes you can go to, for example, A minor or A5, and then coming back to D. So this would be the very quite traditional way to do it, but if you want, you can also try some other chords. So the most basic ones, D minor and A minor. But then, whatever you feel, or whenever you feel, you can try to play, for example, G, or even B flat, or C, or F. So here, the same thing with the chords. So we have the basic theme, D, A, D, and then try it how you like it. If you like it, then do as you like it. Okay. Second verse. Itke, neito, naitaessa.
Itke, neito, naitaessa.
Vierittele, vietäessä.
Veräjillä, vietäessä.
Itke, neito, naitaessa.
Itke, neito, naitaessa.
Vierittele, vietäessä.
Veräjillä, vietäessä.
Kun et itke naitaessa. Kun et itke naitaessa. Kun et itke naitaessa. Sä itket ikäsi kaiken. Itket ikäsi kaiken. Itket ikäsi kaiken. Good. So now I'm interested. How does it feel? Like, well, you can say how does it feel for you, and then you can also at the same time, if you want, you can write if you want. Like, how does it feel? Do you have any questions? Anything you want to say or add or?
Isaac says it makes him feel emotional.
Oh, I'm happy with that. Yeah, let's cry together. Let's cry together.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's all cry together. Woo.
Yeah. So I'm really happy about that because I feel that that this is the purpose. So kind of you got the message. Like even if you don't understand the lyrics, that this is a crying song. Crying is a human right. Okay. Anybody has any comments? If not, we can still do it like one more time, or yeah, there's still like around 10 minutes time, so we can do it one more time, and you can also write if you have something to add, or I'm not sure if I told everything that I wanted to say, but you can always, if you have the questions, you can also later come back to me, and I will write you the links for this song, so that you will find at least Naitaessa. It's a nice singing band, choir ensemble from Finland, and they made a very nice version of this song, and they also have this kantele accompaniment, so then you can also hear it, like how it makes you cry even more. I'm sure. Okay. If Liam is saying, it gives me fond memories of Estonia and this kind of song that we used to sing there in the sauna. Yes, I'm happy with that. Yes, so you can sing this also in the sauna. And welcome to Finland. Please come, and then we go together to sauna, and then we go to lake to swim, and then we will watch the midnight sun, and then we will sing some more poem song singing. Now we will do this one more time. We can do it actually a bit longer even, and you can
We can try
close.
to go. We can try to go over the.
Yeah, okay, let's do that.
verses.
So we will do first the first two verses, and maybe as you noticed, I actually repeated some lines again, and that's also the point. You have to follow me, the main singer, so then you will just the choir is answering, and then so I will do it for some times, and at some point I will go to the third verse, so you can also follow that. Okay.
Veräjillä, miehet,
kyllä huolta tuopi, kyllä huolta tuopi. Liinat liikoja sanoja, liinat liikoja sanoja, kyllä huolta tuopi, kyllä huolta tuopi. Liinat liikoja sanoja, liinat liikoja sanoja, Palttiina pahoa mieltä, Palttiina pahoa mieltä, kyllä huolta tuopi, kyllä huolta tuopi, kyllä huolta tuopi, kyllä huolta tuopi. Liinat liikoja sanoja, liinat liikoja sanoja, Palttiina pahoa mieltä, 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 Palttiina pahoa mieltä. Okay, now there's some noise coming from the other room, so maybe it's time to finish our workshop and say thank you to finish. So we will finish our Finnish workshop, and I'm very happy that you all were here, even if I couldn't see you, but I could feel you, I think. And thank you, Ethno World, that you are, sounds like a person, Ethno World that is organizing these hope sessions that hopefully give more hope to everybody. At least for me, it's very hopeful, and I feel really happy to be able to share Finnish song, even if I'm also far from home. I'm also in Tübingen in Germany and have been here for 3 months, and it makes me always happy to sing a song from my country and share it with and teach it for others and for you. Thank you, Durgesh, also for moderating and helping with everything and everybody. Thank you, Sami and Julia. Thank you. And if you have any questions, please ask now in the comments, or later you can also.
Hyvää yötä.
Hyvää yötä. And you can say you can learn one word in Finnish. It's moi moi moi. It means hi hi or bye bye, or yeah, you can say it when
Moi,
you meet
moi.
somebody or when you leave when you go away. So moi moi, and
Moi moi.
see you in 3 days somewhere. And we say that because Ethno is very like a big family, and sometimes we have friends, and this family is kind of everywhere in the world, so we don't maybe see often, but then we can say see you in 3 days, and then it feels that we will see you very soon. So I really recommend you to try this, because it really works. I forgot to say what is my relation to Ethno. I started to organize Ethno Finland for, I don't know, 5 years ago, and later, just 2 years ago, I started to participate myself also to other ethnos, and I fell in love with it. It was amazing, and it changed my life. It changed everything, and that's why I'm here, and that's why, that's why we are here. And I met also these people, and I met many of you also there, and some of you I haven't met yet, but we will see soon, I'm sure. So, moi moi.
Moi moi.
Moi moi. Mwah, mwah. Love.